Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Jewel. We are going to do a project today. Yesterday on my video, I shared these envelopes that I actually purchased off of Amazon, and they have kind of like, they're like super large coin envelopes, and I had used them folded and in various ways in my last journal, or journal series, I should say. I did 5 journals. They have a nice coating, like a waxy finish to them. And I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to try to recreate those or a variation of them. So what I've done is I've actually made some templates for you guys, which we will go over the sizes of these. I created these. They're all different sizes to make all these different little coin envelopes, all the way from a large to a medium. We have a small. I have, I think, an extra small here. I have a tiny, and I have a teeny. So I will share with you those exact dimensions, but so I could make these in a variety of sizes. The ones I'm sharing with you today, and I'm going to show you how to create these and get the waxy feeling and get all these different colors and techniques on them. And I'm using, this one is the small, and this one I actually am dry or wet embossed, and I'm going to show you how I did that and achieved that. And let me grab a piece of craft paper, a couple of them. I use this plain, regular craft cardstock for this one and this one, and this one, and these two are done with, I don't have any more of this. It was a little bit of a lighter, I think this is like a 65 pound and a weight, but it was a darker shade. This one was, at least, and this one's a lighter one. This one right here, these two are, this, I think this is 100 pound. It may not be, it might be more like a 95 pound paper, and you can see it's a pale shade. So we're gonna make these today, and I'll just show you the variety of enclosures I did do on these. This just has a large, one of those large wide eyelets on it, and I just did some muslin strip tie here. Then this is a bronze embossing powder that I used, and with that script stamp. I used different script stamps on these. But we'll just do 2 today. We're going to do one like this, and we're going to do one like this. And this one I just did one of these clips on. Okay, this is what the inside looks like. See, they really look quite similar. Okay. This is one of the ones I bought, but what I did is I took one of my offcuts when I cut my paper before I waxed it, and I made a little pocket. So that's an idea to do with your offcuts. See, here's the offcut of the embossed one, and I'll probably make a small envelope out of that one because it's a larger piece. This one I haven't put a closure on, but I'll probably do a wax seal. And this one I just did some twine. That's actually embossing or floss, embroidery floss with 2 eyelets there. And you can see it's got that great waxy texture. And then this one is a seal, and I Velcroed it. I don't know if you watched yesterday's videos, but I wanted to just do a little share if you didn't. I make my seals ahead of time. In this box, I have a variety of colors and different seals. There's a fleur-de-lis. Actually, that one I might use on this one. I kind of like that. And you can use, you can glue it on, but if you want to reuse your seal, you know, if you gift these or whatever and you want them to be able to reuse the seal and, you know, reseal their coin envelopes, you can use these little Velcro dots. They actually come in a variety of sizes. I think I just picked those up on Amazon. Or these sticky glue dots, which work quite well. So what I do is I just take one of these. This is a fleur-de-lis. Actually, you could do one or two. And these come in different sizes too. If you haven't seen these glue dots, they're great. There you go. Now see, you can, this will come off. It's a little gummy, but look, see? And then it's still on there. And then you can use it again. Oops. I'm gonna stick it to both sides. So this one I did the Velcro. Okay, let's get right into this project. Okay, so you're going to need, let me move all my items out of the way. You're going to need some plain cardstock, okay. I have the template here. We're going to do a medium size and a small probably. Now you can see I did a variety of different envelopes. This one out of a printed music paper. This one's out of coffee dyed, just plain coffee dyed paper. This is a piece of parchment. So you can, there's a variety of different envelopes you can make, you know, with all your different papers and whatnot. You can do it out of vellum. This one, as you can see, I did just that. Let me show you one thing while I'm thinking about it that I picked up off of, I just saw it on Amazon, and I used some of these in my last paper. This is a classic vintage antique paper, and these would make beautiful envelopes as well. And it says perfect for maps, certificates, invitation. It's something a little bit different from the plain, you know, parchment paper that I get. Now this is not the cooking parchment paper. That's not this, as you can see. This is actually parchment writing paper. Okay, so if you're looking for that, but I wanted to show you, it comes in this pack of different colors. This has like a pink tone and a yellow aged style. And this one you can see is a little bit different. Both sides are done. See how pretty that would be in your journals for writing paper or for printing on. There's this, so it's a variety pack. There's this one. I think there's 6 different styles in here, and 96 sheets. See, that would be pretty with these coin envelopes, this one. So I wanted to share that with you. So if you're looking for some different papers, or if you ever see, excuse me, any of these in your, you know, at the Goodwill or something, people pick this stuff up for invitations, and then they don't need them all, and they, you know, they end up in, you know, shops. So let me move stuff out of the way, and we'll get started. First thing, I'm gonna sit down. You know, I always start all my videos standing up, so I can make sure we're in frame, and then I still get out of frame. So I'm going to use a variety of inks to achieve that vintagey color. Antique color, I should say. Antique look. We're going to use a Vintage Photo Distress Oxide first. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these, but these are the mini Tim Holtz, and I have these tins, and you can get these in a variety of places, your craft stores or whatever. And I keep the mini ones on my desk, and then the ones that I don't use as much of, we're going to be using out of this tin. It's the neutrals and the warm tones. And then I keep the larger ones in here, my vintage photo that I use all the time, and my distress oxide in the vintage photo color. Now, I'm going to just rub this on here. Okay, this shade anyways. That's what I did with the last one. It saves some time. It stays damp, so you can come in and use your blender. You're probably noticing, if you haven't subscribed to her channel, Shell's husband makes these beautiful inkers. And for people that have ink handles, you know, I do have the Tim Holtz. This is a square one. Here's the round, you know. I use those as well. These are actually by Ranger. But I noticed her using this one day, and I have severe RA, and I have it everywhere in my body, but my hands really get bad. So I noticed her using it, and I asked her, and she said, oh, my husband makes those. And I think you can order them. I think she might. They're all hand done out of this neat wood that they get up there in Colorado. So if you're interested in that, let me know. And I don't know if she's selling them, but you need to check out her channel too if you haven't seen it. She's got a great channel. Let me just do this side. Not all of this side is going to show, but I'll just do a little, because this will be the inside of the envelope. So this is just Distress Oxide, and you can use, it's a smoother. When I'm going to use the big ink pad like this on a whole piece of paper, I feel it's a smoother finish than the Distress ink. I'll just go over that. Okay. Now, you see we have a nice variety of inks. Then I'm going to come in with some tea dye. And I'm going to use the mini ink, and this is going to give a little bit more warmth. And there again, I'm going to see if you can see that. See, it's adding some warmth to it. And then I have another one. This one's getting a little dry. Let me see. Somewhere. Here it is. I just need to get a re-inker. Let's see what side I'm on. Okay. This is the inside, so I'm not too concerned about, you know, that being perfect. Then I'm going to come in with some spiced marmalade. You can use wild honey. I just like this blend, the spiced marmalade. Now I'm going to use my inker for this, because I only want to bring it in and start. See that? Oh, look how pretty that is. I don't know if you all can see that. Let me see. I feel like that's my alt light. There. You just can't, it's not picking up. I'm looking in the camera and you just can't see that warmth. It's probably because, let me see. Yeah, that's not enough. I don't get enough, I don't have enough light with my overhead lights. It's a dreary day. We had rain earlier and there's no sunshine out there, so. It gets like that this time of year down here in South Florida. It's a rainy season, but usually the rain comes in the afternoon, but it started in the morning today. So it's a good day. It's a good day for crafting. Okay, so now we have these pretty shades. Then I'm going to go in with a script stamping with a walnut stain color. Actually, I'll come up here at the top where we're going to, and I'm not going to script stamp this entire side. And then I'm going to show you how to wax this a simple, easy way. Let me get a baby wipe. You know, you can see I've worked today and on some things. My fingers are a mess. Okay. And you can, if you want to make sure this is good and dry before you put the glue on it, just zap it with a heat gun. Okay, what's next? Okay, we're going to take the walnut stain. I've got a couple of script stamps here. I have this one. This is music. This is some script. And I have this one on the desk. And we'll just go ahead and use this one. Okay. I'm just going to rub this right on there. And I'm just going to go down through the page. Try to get a little bit more. I'm not sure. I might have not got all of my water resist off of here that I used for my embossing, because I did use this script stamp for the embossing on that other one. All right. I need to re-ink this little walnut stain. I use a lot of the walnut stain. I especially use it if I'm using the vintage photo and then I want a darker color on the edges. I'll come back in and do that. This one a little bit more right here. I want to get through this because I want to show you the other technique. And then I want to make sure you have the sizes for the templates. I will put the template sizes in the description box for you as well, for the different size coin envelopes, so you get the right, score line and all that. So I'm just putting this in the middle where you would see it. Okay, let me just wipe this ink off real quick because I'm going to use this for the embossing as well. Okay, now we're going to go in and do waxing. You can buy, if any of you have done, wax coating on your papers before, they have the little pellets or the little beads that you can use. But I'll tell you, I like just using that big old wax bar. I get them like this. This is the organic beeswax, raw and natural. One of these lasts forever. I have this big old bag, and this is actually a food grade beeswax, but it works great. So that's what I'm using. I have this cute little mini, I keep right in here in the craft room. It's a little mini iron. Okay, we're going to use that, and I'm going to use some of this baking paper. Let me just show you where I make envelopes out of that baking paper. This is an unbleached non-stick parchment paper, and it comes like this in 100 sheets. I make envelopes, I make bags, I make all my own glassine bags because I like the natural color. Well, I can't say all of them, but you know, a lot of them, because I enjoy the process of just making bags. I just like to make things. Okay, what I'm going to do, actually, no, I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to cut it down first. We'll do that in a minute. Okay. It's got some wax on here, I think. Okay, we have how I've made these templates. The paper is 7 3/4 inches long by 8.5 inches wide. Okay, we'll start with that so you don't get too crazy with the score lines and the cuts and all that. It actually is easier than it looks here. Okay. Whoops, I don't want that. You could cut this down ahead of time, but I like to have the cutoffs. So let me move my little iron. Okay. 7 3/4 inches long by 8.5 inches wide. Okay, so I guess it doesn't really matter with the script stamping if you go this way or this way, but I think I'll keep it the wide way. So 8.5 inches wide. Okay. There it is. And 7 3/4 inches long. Okay. And then let me make sure. Yep. Now we're going to score. Let me shut this. And I have a little scoring blade right here. I also have a big scoring board, but this works for small projects. Okay, or you can fold it. So we're going to score on each side, the width, because it's going to fold this way, okay? It's going to fold this way. 2 1/4 inches. So 2 1/4 score, and we're going to flip it. 2 1/4. Okay. All right. Then I liked the 3/4 inch fold. It's a little bigger than this one. So it took me quite some time to come up with the folds where they would be right and all that. So I'm going to score 3/4 inch at the top and 1/2 inch at the bottom. So 3/4 inch is right there. Okay, and then the bottom is 1/2 inch, which I think is right there. Okay, and we can move that. Okay, so you see what we have here. We have the fold here. We have the fold here. Then we're going to have the fold up one way, and we're going to have the fold the other. But we have to cut away some of the excess. So you can see where I did the dotted lines. That means cut. So we're going to cut straight across first. This part's going to be cut out. This part, okay, and then this part. This is the top. Wait, no, this is the top. Wait a minute. No, they're the same. Well, I might have measured wrong. That's okay. It's going to be a little shorter. That's okay. Okay, and we're going to glue it first because I think it adheres better than once you wax it. So let me get my scissors. Actually, I'm going to use my long scissors, and we're going to cut away. Actually, I'm going to cut from this way because I can see a little bit better. Here, let me get a better fold. I can see what I'm doing here. All right, just to that score line on each side. I'm having trouble seeing. Okay. And down. And down. Okay, now let me get the bottom as well, because we're going to also cut a little bit on an angle. This is the inside. Okay, now I have that off. What I want to do is we are going to, let me pull out one of my, here's an envelope. You see how I have it angled down here? That one's not too neat. See this? So you can get items into your coin envelope easier. So it's a nice finished look. So what I'm going to do, this is the top, is I'm just going to take a little piece off this way on an angle and that way. All right, let's see if I have enough. See how I just have a little, you can bring it even lower. Actually, I think I will. I'll take a little bit more off. That way it's easier to get things in and out. Plus it gives it a nice finished look. Then I'm going to round these corners. Now, all I'm going to do with this one is is that the bottom? Yeah, this is the bottom. I'm just going to do, let me take my small scissors. Come in this way. And then I'm going to round the top. So, let me show you what I mean. See this? I just did a little angle. It gives it a nice finished look when you turn up the bottom. Okay, and then I round the corners of the top. So let's go ahead and round the corners with my broken corner rounder. And I'm not replacing it. Not anytime soon. I dropped it. I have the dropsies. Here we go. Okay, now you could come in here if you want and just take your, to see what side you want. Oops, you know what I forgot? Let's do a little angling down here too. Just a little bit because it closes easier at the bottom. I just take just the smallest amount off. So it doesn't get in the way. See, I just have a little bit off, so when you fold it up, you get a nice flat fold. I'm just going to come in. You can use your inker, but I'm just going to go like this and do the edges. This side is coming over, so I just need to do that side and this side, just to get a nice, just a nice edge. And here. All right, then we'll glue it and we'll wax it, and then this little coin envelope is done. And then you can make your pockets on it. You can embellish it rather with anything you want, ephemera. You can do some little collaging on it, whatever you're gonna use it for. Okay, then that will just adhere down. Here the bottom. Need to refill this. Oh, that was the top. That's all right. This is fine. You can't really notice it's a script stamp, but it would if I would have, this should be a 1/2 of an inch down here. So we'll go over that again. All right, now we're gonna wax. So, let me pull my parchment paper back out. Okay, one of these sides has, okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm just literally rubbing this stick, this wax stick all over this beeswax. Plus, it has a nice smell. I read reviews where some of them stink bad. And I didn't buy that one. I went for this nice smelling ones. All right, so I have a good amount of wax on there, and you can come back and add more. And I'm just going to take my little, now see, you can see right there where the wax is melting. You know the wax is finished when you don't see that through the parchment paper anymore. See, this is still melting here. So this is not the most, the strongest little iron. I don't use this for seams, for you know, my fabrics or anything like that. It's not strong enough, not enough heat, but it works great for this. Okay, see that nice, see with the, and you get a really nice texture too. Real nice texture. Now I'll come in and I'll do the back. We'll just do that real quick. And while it's warm, if you want more wax, just come right back over it. Okay, and then we'll do that. And voila, that's done. So this is the way I found the wax if I want that nice coating. Well, it's not done. I don't want too much shine or anything. I want to make sure that wax is melted. It actually goes down into the fibers of the paper, which is really cool. Then you get that real nice texture. So there's an envelope. I'll come back and do the back after. See how pretty the colors are? And then when you wax it, it just brings it even more to the surface. So there's that one. Now we are going to, I'm actually not going to make the whole envelope, but I'm going to show you how I achieved this look. Okay, so you can either, I actually embossed first and then I came in and did some inking because I wanted it like dispersed. So this gives you a little raised area, so you're gonna be, when you start inking, you'll get, you see that? See the different effects? Here's the back. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to find my, what did I do with it? Here it is. Okay, I wanted to talk to you for a sec. I have a lot of boxes of embossing powder in every color because I was a card maker for years, and I embossed the heck out of cardstock. Everything was embossed. I just loved using it, and I love to watch it turn. So it comes in different, if you're unfamiliar with embossing powder, It comes in different finishes. It comes in clears. It comes in an extra thick, which would be called UT, I think. But it's, oh, let me show you. It's ultra thick embossing enamel, and you can see you got a real, this is a thick clear finish. It comes in plain colors without any metallic in it. Then what you have to do is before you apply this, if you want to get, hold on. Some of you may be new to using embossing powder, so I'm going to give you a quick 101 on this, but there's thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of videos out there on embossing, using embossing powders. You need to use an embossing stamp pad or a water resist pad. I love the Versamark. So these look just like a plain ink pad. You can see this is turned colors because it's so old, but it's still sticky. Okay, so that's what you're going to put as opposed to putting ink. Got some embossing powder on here. On here, you're going to put this. This is going to go on there. So what you're going to need, you don't really need this, but I always have a brush handy to get rid of any excess embossing powder. Actually, I'll move that out of the way. That's just to catch the, I got glitter on this. Let me just take a, I gotta get that glitter off. I don't want this glitter. This thing, if you haven't seen these, this has a hole in it. You can just use a plain piece of paper too and just dump but you don't want to waste your embossing powder. So also you can buy these things, which are kind of sticky pieces of cheesecloth. You can probably make your own, and that will clean up any embossing powder that you have on your tray, or you know, or if you're going to reuse a piece of paper. Now, what I do next is I clean my paper. You don't have to do any of this. This just gives you a cleaner image. This is like, it's got powder in it. And what this does is it causes so if you have spillover of your embossing powder and it's outside the image, you can wipe it off very easily. So it won't adhere to that area. So you just take that and you just go over your paper with it. Okay, so if you get the sticky and watermark resist or the embossing stuff somewhere else where you don't want it, it won't adhere. I don't know if I'm making myself clear. Basically what it does is so your embossing powder doesn't go where you don't want it to go. Okay, these are the different brands I wanted to show you. This is called Emboss, that's by Ranger, and this is by Versamark. I just have a variety. So I think I'll just take the Versamark. This one looks like I have some blue ink on it. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it over my stamp, script stamp, I should say. It works for all stamps. Okay, well, let me put this away. Okay, then I'm going to put it in the middle of the paper because I'm just going to show you one area. Just so you can see how this works.